What is poppin', everybody? Welcome to episode 74 of the Fight Geeks podcast. We are back.
74 hours.
It's Monday night again. It's just a good night to do it.
We've already dedicated over like almost 3 days of our life to this sitting here.
This is the third SD card.
So that's crazy.
This is the third.
So that's pretty crazy.
That's all I know.
We went on a random about the last week, but guys, it's UFC fight week here for 303.
Yep, 303.
303, guys.
UFC 303. It's a rhyme.
After
it's a Saturday.
302 was a banger. Hopefully 303 can go hard just as hard. Unfortunately, guys, it's not Conor McGregor. We already talked about last week how sad we were. So fuck, but
we thought he was.
Still a good ass card here, and we had a lot of good fights to talk about. But what were you gonna say?
So this is gonna be uploaded on Friday. So UFC 303 is tomorrow. If you're watching this, let's go,
guys. I hope our picks.
I'm hyped for me on.
I'm locking in my picks tonight, guys. And if you want to parlay them, I'm 100% gonna get these ones correct. I'm not confident.
Ricky Simon versus Vinicius Oliveira.
Guys, come on now. We're going with Vinicius Oliveira.
He's Ricky
coming off.
Simon, dude.
Really? Oliveira hit a nasty flying knee against. Forgot who it was. Sorry, guys. In his last fight, I saw. Let's see what this
is. That the same Oliveira, bro? Is that the same Oliveira though? Guys, we got some nice sparkling waters here.
Sparkling water.
I'm just kidding.
It's got bubbles.
It's still. And, dude, I'm actually not feeling as allergenic right now.
I think I had the door shut. So
nice.
Hopefully the cat hears.
All right, we're just going to skip ahead a little bit. All right, here we go. So, if you know the woman with the red hair, that's Jillian Robertson. She's fighting Michelle Waterson Gomez. I'm probably just going to root for Jillian Robertson. I
got to go with Julie Robinson. I mean, she's been a very good prospect lately. I
think she actually has.
I'm sorry, guys.
All right, Peyton Talbot versus Giannis Gamorti. This is the guy with the
guys. We're taking the Russian
tattoo that's right here. That's not a Russian, bro. That's France.
Oh, I thought that was Russian Chase Hooper.
I think I'm gonna go with. Dude, look at the odds. I'm obviously realistically, I'll go with.
I'm
Talbot.
going with Giannis.
Yeah, I'm going with Giannis Gamorti, bro. This is good for the betting. Yeah, you never know, man. You never know.
Plus 9.
2 unranked dudes, anything can happen. That is unknown territory. At its best, you know, anything could happen still in like the title fights.
Yeah.
But like if it's Islam versus like Poirier, it's like all right, Islam's like low-key gonna win, but we're gonna root for Dustin. You know what I mean? But this is like, who knows? And Charles Jourdain is back. He had hype that just went. You know, that's what a loss does to you in the UFC, and he's coming back against Gene Silva. I think I'm just gonna go with Gene Silva. I'm just gonna root on the downfall of Charles Jourdain at this point, bro.
Charles Jourdain.
Come on, bro. I thought he had the Sparta kick.
Yeah, exactly.
He's known for the Sparta kick. Like, come on. I thought you were ranked. Get ranked, bro. Andre Toche Fili versus Cub Swanson. You place another bet on your boy?
Andre Fili's back. I don't know. Didn't get slept last fight, so I mean,
let's see.
You know damn well we're rocking.
Yeah, he lost to Dan Ige last fight.
He lost to Dan Ige last fight, but he's back. He's coming
back.
Cub
Swanson is not nobody to play around with, though, man. That's Cub.
He's a veteran of the game, but the veteran of the game have tendencies to get beat up at the end of their career. So,
here we go. Philly. Joe Pyfer versus Marc-Andre Barriault. You know Joe Pyfer. Dana White bought him a house.
He broke Ngannou's record, so obviously. Obviously, he's knocking out.
And this dude also lost last fight. Because, dude, all the Canadians lost on the last Canada card.
Dude.
So this dude's back. Jourdain's back.
Wow.
No, besides Jasmine Juzdavicus, I think is her last name. Because she was like the only Canadian to win. Mm-hmm. So, but I think I'm going to go with Pyfer here.
Yeah,
I think like he did get a little slack from like whatever that last little circumstance was, like beating a record, blah, blah.
Yeah, he had an ego
punches the strongest.
Crazy stuff.
But like that is in the past. I think he's going to beat Marc-Andre Barriault. It's the main card time.
Main card that wraps up the prelims, guys. And honestly, we have an absolute banger opening up the card.
To start up with, yeah.
Ian Gary versus Michael Venom Page, guys. Now, honestly, I was just thinking about this fight before the pod started. I was like, wow, this is going to be actually such a sleeper or a good fight. I mean, sleeper on like that it's like going to be an underrated fight. I feel like people are forgetting that this fight's even on this card.
I'm not.
I feel like the Ian Gary fight hype almost low-key fell off with his last split decision win. But also this card kind of snuck up on everybody too, and I don't really necessarily blame that. I think throughout the fight week we'll see more hype around this fight. But I'm pretty stoked. What are your opening thoughts on this fight?
My opening thoughts are first, Ian Machado Gary. There's no odds for some reason. Ian Machado Gary just needs to like chill the F out. Stop saying all this stuff about, not wanting to fight MVP in the past and whatever, blah, blah. he only wants to fight people ahead of him in the rankings. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like, dude, win this fight. Like, at this point, like, it seems like nobody's available. So it's like, be MVP. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's better than his ranking. That's all I know, MVP is better than the 14 ranked fighter.
I agree.
I don't think Ian Gary realized that he's really just based on rankings. Like, but here he is, ends up fighting a lower ranked fighter. MVP, we saw him just dominate Kevin Holland in the last fight. And Ian Gary, for as much hype as he gets, he has not been putting on the best performances recently. The Neil Magny win, the Jeff Neal win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, decision by split decisions against Jeff Neal, man. First off. But
all that being said,
this is him moving up in the rankings a little bit. He's going decision. I think this is his loss right here, and I think MVP is going to get up in the rankings where he honestly deserves to be, because he is better than the Bellator.
So I'm thinking.
I'm sorry.
I am thinking.
Who do you got?
I'm going Ian Gary only because.
Okay.
I think Ian Gary and MVP have very similar styles, right? I mean, it's evident. It's interesting to see why Michael Van Page didn't take the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fight over this. I think this fight's definitely more hype and more of a challenge, like, clearly, right? But it was weird because he said he didn't want to take that fight because, like, two rights don't make a good fight. But now we're in the exact same situation where you're fighting someone who pretty much has the exact same style as you. So it's gonna be weird. So I think Ian Gary's gonna be the younger, stronger guy, and I think it's gonna be like a kind of like arguably like a boring fight where it's gonna be kind of like a back and forth good kickboxing match. And I think Ian Gary's going to beat him on points, just being the younger, faster, stronger gentleman on the night. MVP's like 36 years old, man. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if he's going to be able to keep up with someone that's similar to his style.
But hear me out, though. Ian Gary, yes, the strength, the youthfulness, all that stuff. This is what he also has. It doesn't depend anything on martial arts. Distractions, bro. 1,
that's true.
The wife. 2, the Conor McGregor comparisons. 3, he seems like he's doing an interview every other day.
So you think he might not be?
Right I think he's being way too more star power.
Yeah.
Trying to be a superstar more than a champion at this. In a way.
Yeah. So I don't.
Am I wrong for saying that?
No, you're not. Because I'm not sitting here and saying he's going to go out and dominate him. Because, like you just showed me with the stats, he's going to decision with Neil Magny. Although that was an ass whooping, he went to decision with
Jeff Neal. Though.
Split decision with Jeff Neal. So I do agree with you that he is putting on these lackluster performances for all the talk he's doing. Good performances, but for all the talk, you'd think he'd be you'd think he'd be doing what Conor McGregor was doing, which was actually predicting and knocking people out. That being said, I'm not saying he's going to dominate MVP. I just think it is a better fight for him than a lot of people are giving credit for it. But I don't know. It's going to be a close fight.
It's going to be a great fight. I'm honestly
But yeah, I do agree with you, Ian Gary. I feel like he does a lot of the times not focus on the fight that's in front of him, and he's looking ahead, which is that could be good, could be bad. We don't know.
Like when you're in drama where you're saying no and yes to fighters, dude, you're getting way too much attention. You know what I mean?
Before the MVP play,
you know how much saying yes and no goes on and doesn't get
before
reported?
Before the MVP play, he was talking about Colby Covington. Now he's signed the fight, and the most recent thing I've seen of Ian Gary is him talking about Colby Covington.
It's all for clicks, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a banger to open up the first card. I'm interested to see what's going to go on.
Super excited
I haven't heard much of it, honestly, from either side talking about their actual opponent in front of them. I did see MVP say with the win he wants to fight Kamaru Usman. I think that's a pretty sick fight.
That is a sick fight.
And definitely a challenging fight as well, right? So we'll see what happens. Do I think either of these kickboxers, though, in MVP or Ian Gary, beat Leon Edwards? I don't think so.
Ooh.
Leon Edwards is the GOAT right now.
For some reason, I could see Michael Page.
Dude, the 35 crew is still living on now. I'm pretty sure it's like 3-36. And then the Poirier most recent, and then Bilal is coming up. So it's going to be interesting.
All right, next up, we got the women's
long-awaited
bout, Mayra Bueno Silva versus Macy Chiasson. Mayra
Because I'm
Bueno
going with the
Silva
vet.
lost to Raquel Pennington in the Bantamweight Championship.
Well, I'm going with the vet, Bueno Silva. I'm not going to lie. She's hungry. She just lost the title shot. And I think, the Brazil's just gonna put the country on her back once more and raise that title later this year.
I think I'm going to go with Macy Chiasson because, the women's division moves so goddamn fast, man. 7 versus 3, that's nothing.
Just be fighting,
that's
bro.
nothing.
They just be fighting.
Macy Chiasson is going to be the number 3 ranked and get a shot at the title in her next 2 fights.
Okay. Not even knowing her, but yeah.
Light heavyweight bout, Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. So
guys, I mean, this fight
we
was
know the history of this
scuffed.
fight.
Too much going on. Multiple posts.
Jamal Hill, Khalil Roundtree. Jamal Hill, Carlos Ulberg, Anthony Smith, Anthony Smith, Roman Dolidze. It's the fourth time. We got a matchup,
So it's completely different than what it was the first time. And honestly, respect to Anthony Smith for stepping in on this, because Anthony Smith is a guy. I think he finally started realizing that he's not as good as he was. Because all I saw from him a lot of the times in his fights is like, I still think I'm only one away from a title shot. When it's like, dude, no, you are not. Even in this fight build up,
every fight he's one more away from a title shot.
Even in this fight, he still thinks he's only one more win away. But he actually said something about him being the gatekeeper of the division, and it low-key made me laugh. I was like, he said, man, I'm starting to be the gatekeeper. And I was like, wait, so he does low-key know that he's a gatekeeper. But anyway, respect for him stepping in. And then who's his opponent? Respect for him as well.
Roman Dolidze.
Yeah, so they both step in on short notice. Like
you
everyone else on this
card.
Roman
Dolidze?
Respect to these next 6 fighters. How do we know him?
When he almost broke Jack Hermance's knee. And then he lost to Marvin Vettori. Remember that dude?
Yes.
So he's here. And guess what? This isn't even his division. He's a middleweight.
Okay, so
he's fighting in heavyweight.
That being said, I have Anthony Smith.
Okay.
Decision for you guys.
I think I'm also gonna go with Anthony Smith. Like, yes, he didn't have as much notice, but this dude had like a week.
Dude, Anthony Smith's last win was pretty impressive. He was rocking the guy, and then he put him in a guillotine, I believe, and it was pretty sick. All I'm saying, Anthony Smith.
All he's saying, man.
All I'm saying is he's a dog, but he's a gatekeeper, but he's a dog. But I think someone coming up to his weight class who's also kind of like a low-key
on short notice.
On short notice. I think they're both coming in here for the check, but Anthony Smith wants it more. Attacking my family. If that's what he's thinking in the fight.
This is the thing, bro. Dolidze isn't a gatekeeper. He lost to a gatekeeper. He lost to Marvin Vettori.
Exactly. So
he never even achieved gatekeeper status. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Smith here as well. Then we have our co-main event. It's actually a very awesome fight. Brian Ortega.
Respect to these 2 fighters.
Versus Diego Lopez, man.
So
Diego Lopez is coming up from the trenches of the ranks.
I think for me, this is the easiest fight to pick. I think it's gonna easily be Diego Lopez. I think you have the more hungry, more of the underdog. Like, right, he's got. Yeah. You could argue he has less to lose in this fight because he's
anytime it's like that, it's
lower
like
in the rankings. Yeah, exactly. He's lower in the rankings. On paper, he's expected to lose to this guy. But being the upcomer dog, knocking people out. I know, that's what's crazy too.
I know, right? At least, it's pretty even. It's -142.
So,
it's not like
but I feel like if he were to lose this fight, people would be like, "Oh, well, you lost to the 3rd ranked guy. Not that crazy, right?" But yeah. I think Diego Lopez clears Brian T. City based off what I saw the last fight. I don't even know how T. City won that fight. If you look at the stats, it was like 50 significant strikes to 2, and then I don't even know how that fight got finished. He put him in some sort of choke, and it was crazy. But I think Diego Lopez is going to knock him out early. I don't know. Brian Ortega takes shots way too easily.
I was just thinking of that because Diego Lopez's UFC 300 performance, that amazing knockout of Sadiq Youssef.
Yes.
That was sweet.
And then looking at T City's last fight,
we haven't seen a lot of Diego Lopez because he's knocking motherfuckers out.
Yes, exactly. And then T City getting pieced up in his last fight the way he did, I'm like, oh shit.
So this is Diego Lopez. This is his biggest stage of his career.
And then
I think he's gonna win.
I think he's gonna win. Had original plans to fight at 306 in lightweight. At lightweight, and he said, "Win or lose this fight, I'm going to lightweight." So I think you have Diego Lopez, who is hungry as hell, new to the UFC, putting the
compete with these top guys,
trying to put the division on notice.
At least we think,
trying to get a title shot, and then he's fighting a guy who fought his first fight in like 3 years, just a couple of months ago, and then he's saying he doesn't even care about, or he's essentially saying, "I don't care about this fight. I'm going to lightweight, win or lose." When this could get him into this can get him to title shot contention, and he's saying I'm going to lightweight. Makes no sense. Like, what are you doing, dude? So interesting move by T City. But that being said, I got Lopez by knockout with all those factors. I just think dog, up and comer, not underdog, but dog.
Like a literal dog.
Yeah. So sick ass mullet.
Yeah, so I'm
hungry contender.
How can you hate Diego Lopez, man? He's one of the most like
humble.
I
love T City as well, but
at least right now, Diego Lopez is super humble. Like I can never see him like stealing people's mics or like he's just a humble
Speaking
dude
of humble,
that's winning.
Ikram after the robber.
Yeah, we still got one more fight though.
Do we?
The main event, dog.
One more fight.
The rematch.
One more fight.
The rematch.
Something we didn't expect. Something that we knew was going to happen. We didn't know when.
We didn't expect this soon.
Allegedly, it was supposed to happen in like September and then August. Now it's next
Saturday.
Week. This
AKA
Saturday,
tomorrow as you're watching this.
June 29th. Tomorrow from when you're watching this,
That's
guys.
crazy.
Alex Potan Pereira versus, what's Yuri's nickname? I saw you posting.
BGP. Or
Yuri,
BGP.
BGP. Proshka, guys.
It means something.
He's an absolute warrior, guys. This is a dogfight. We had one of the, arguably, if not one of the greatest stare downs of all time when they first met in the octagon. And not only that, we had a very close fight. I think what the Pereira's recent fights and how he's been dominating everyone and with the hate that Izzy gets and how people love him for beating Izzy, we almost forget that this was a closer fight than people think.
Yep.
Not only was it arguably an early stoppage, but Yuri was piecing him up in that first round and tagged him in some moments. We're seeing the fight come around, so we're seeing clips of Yuri tagging him. And guys, these odds are close for a reason. And what do you think is going to happen in this fight? And how do you feel about the whole rematch in general? Did you like the fight being made? Was it? What'd you think?
Let me see these odds. Okay, it's Alex Pereira's negative
Pretty
155.
Yeah, so
Yuri's
close odds.
plus 130.
Close odds.
And
Yuri's still
my thoughts on this
slight
fight,
dog.
bro. My first thought of how it was booked, I was like, okay, they both fought at the same card, the last card,
right?
So they have even amount of time.
Both finished their opponents.
They both finished their
Who
opponents.
took more damage? Yuri, but Yuri got.
But they both won on their last fight. So first off, the timing of it, it's fair. You know what I mean? I would love to see them both on a full camp against each other. You know what I mean? But this is what we're getting, and I'm hyped for it. But yes, like you said, the last fight,
close fight.
Alex was challenged there. You know what I mean? Obviously, we have seen Alex go to decision, but it's rare.
I don't want to make it seem like I was discrediting Alex's performance at all, because I personally thought it was a good stoppage.
Because obviously, I feel like with the Jan fight, Jan, I don't know if Jan really went as hard as Yuri was to finish Alex, if that makes sense. And that's what put Yuri in the position to get finished. And it wasn't even the craziest finish. You know what I mean? It was arguable. It was ended up being an arguable finish.
Yuri's only 31 as well. I saw on your post.
Yuri's 31. He has 29 finishes and 30 wins.
29 finishes, 30 wins, 26 KOs. I saw.
Yeah, three submissions and then one decision to cap it all off. Alex Pereira, he's 10-2 in MMA.
I'm pretty sure
he's
only
plus that. He's above that. I think his only
losses are by finish as well.
This could be an interesting fight, and I honestly think Yuri Prochazka's going to win by finish, and it's going to set up an epic rematch, probably an epic trilogy.
I think one of
the most epic trilogies of all time will happen.
I could not agree with you more.
Bro.
Could not agree with you more. I believe Yuri's going to win, and the odds are close for a reason. Yuri being a slight dog, I think he's going to get it done, guys. He's the younger. I'm not saying this really matters. He seems like the less skilled fighter. I was talking this before the pod, but I think Yuri's so awkward, and that's why he has 29 finishes and 30 wins. Because
he takes risks, and
he's a weird, awkward fighter. And guys, MMA has proven over time the fighters with the weird styles are some of the best fighters in the world. We got fighters like Dominic Cruz, Yuri Prochazka. So this fight is going to be so sick. I think, like you said,
MVP.
I think he gets the finish, and I think it's going to be exactly. I think it's going to be in similar fashion to what we saw Alex Pereira doing to him. It's going to be like a TKO. Maybe it's not going to be an early stoppage, but it's going to be one where Pereira's maybe just on the floor, just eating shots where he has to call it. It's going to set up for a sick trilogy.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I think
for some reason I'm picturing Pereira on the floor.
Mm-hmm. I'm picturing
from the Izzy fight. I see him in.
I picture it being a similar shot that Izzy landed. Pereira against the cage.
Dude,
I think Yuri lands a 1-2, rocks him, maybe throws a hook of his own, drops Pereira, and then stops it with a few follow-up shots. And then I think it sets up for a sick trilogy with maybe
and hear me out.
Izzy fight, something crazy.
Let's say Yuri wins and that does set up the trilogy. I could see Alex retiring after that.
Yes, perfect retirement. Because
when he retires as champ, lose. I don't know if I would retire if I lost. I would probably get Izzy.
I would hope Izzy.
Because Izzy's old
I would try to hope Izzy loses the fight, and then.
No, I'm talking about the trilogy with Yuri. If Yuri wins, Yuri beats Alex here, and the next fight, Alex versus Yuri. I could see Alex retiring if he won.
Yeah, if he won, retire. If he loses,
I could see it.
Hopefully, Izzy loses against DDP, set up the trilogy, and then they both retire.
Because realistically, if Alex Pereira fights out of his quote unquote prime, even though he's 37, that could ruin just his resume. You know what I mean?
Let's call it the aura. Dude, his resume right now is absolutely
that's what I'm saying. If he lost to Yuri and then beat Yuri and became champ and then retired, that's a perfect cap to a resume, I think, for a 38-year-old.
To become division champ, 3 times champ total, 2 times achieving the light heavyweight, 1 time getting in a middleweight, and then to be one of the only double champs of all time in the UFC. I mean, come on, man. That's going to be an insane thing. But honestly, I think knockout Yuri, finish Ankalaev, and then retire. And now you're fucking shutting everybody up. And now you're honestly, somehow you just snuck your way into the GOAT conversation.
Beats Ankalaev.
Because John Jones will always be the GOAT of light heavyweight because of the amount of defenses and the amount of title shots in a row, and then the amount of times he's got suspended. And when he got unsuspended, he came back, fought for the title, and won it back immediately, 3 times. So vacated it, came back on his own time, won it back. He's done some everything. He could have like 14 defends, but unfortunately, the steroids, the vacating, the move to heavyweight.
Blah, blah, blah.
So, but honestly, with all that being said on John Jones' resume, if Yuri were to knock out Yuri right now and then go finish Ankalaev and then maybe even fuck up around and fuck Jamal Hill up one more time, you somehow just stuck your way in there to arguably being the GOAT of light heavyweight, even though you have like 6 less defenses. Just because the resume.
They're in a string, yeah.
I forgot how many world champs it is. Dude, we're hyping up Pereira so hard and we both picked Yuri to win. But I'm just saying, man, I like the
because either way, like, we can't be upset about the result. You know what I mean?
Well, dude, I saw a post, and this holds true. Pereira's literally higher on the GOAT list than Khabib right now. And it's true. If he were to retire right now, he literally would be. Dude, yeah. His record is insane. Like 5 former world champs, and then he's already got...
That really is true. Man. It's crazy to think about, too.
So, like,
yeah,
if he genuinely beats Ankalaev, beats Yuri, man, he's literally in conversation.
That's really all there is.
3.
Ankalaev, they're like, just shut up the Ankalaev talkers.
Yes, exactly. And you
shut
can
up
talk
Jamal
about
Hill for good.
Yeah, right.
And
man, I'm sorry.
Have 2 more wars with Yuri. Have 2 more wars with Yuri. I'm
sorry Jamal Hill went outside like that, bro. That's crazy. Oh, real quick, I want to talk about Conor McGregor's injury. Guys, I think that's a valid reason to pull out.
Showed it.
Because me and you were talking for 3 pods in a row, Paul, like, Conor's never pulled out due to injury. But it is different this time because, guys,
it's an important
this was when Conor didn't have the money, who was the guy who needed to take risks to become the champion, right? I mean, when you're on the come up in the UFC, the only thing you need to do is take risks to try and maximize your opportunity, get as much money, and become the fastest champion. Now, but when you're already Conor McGregor and you already have $400 million net worth, you have one of the only Lamborghini lots in the world, you have a family and kids to go home to after every time you fight, you have to pull out on the injury. At first, I was kind of upset. I was like, wow, he's never pulled out. Rafael dos Anjos throwing shit at him because he was...
He balled it.
Yeah, because
he balled it
because Conor made fun of Rafael dos Anjos for pulling out to a toe, and then now Conor's doing it. And Rafael dos Anjos, man, he's been waiting 8 years to make that comeback, but it's way different because Rafael dos Anjos sucks and is still fighting for money.
Conor could be fighting for the biggest payday.
So anyway, I agree with the pullout. I agree with Ian Gary as well because he's on Conor's side, but he was like,
Conor doesn't even listen.
Yeah, he said something like, "Everybody shut up. It doesn't matter what Conor does," and it was kind of sick. So Conor, I like to pull out and put the man. I'm still so stoked for this fight. It's almost like I don't know if I would be as stoked if it wasn't Conor, or I would be more stoked if it was Conor. Is what I'm saying. But still, absolutely stoked for this fight.
Same.
And last week we had a crazy card too.
UFC Saudi Arabia, and I don't know when the last time this happened. There was not a single women's fight on the card or ring girls.
Yeah, I saw that.
Saudi Arabia.
That was weird.
So I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't remember a fight night without girls in a minute. It's been a minute.
Well, that's Haram in Saudi Arabia.
Because I definitely remember, I think the last UFC Saudi Arabia. No, because this was the first one, right? I definitely remember a card. It's like, yo, there's like no woman on it. I feel like I remember.
There
I
might
just
have
don't
been
know
a
what
couple,
it was.
but that's rare.
It's
but
very
also
rare.
In Saudi Arabia, there's no correlation to that because the guy that actually like invited Dana White out, I saw him in the post fight.
Yeah,
he was like,
wants to change it.
He actually wanted to bring women out, which I actually extremely respect.
And women's fights.
We dog women fighting a lot, and that's not necessarily our fault. That's them for being shitty fighters. But
no, do you want to know why they get dogged on? Because they're like we've said this in the past. WMMA is so young. I think it's just about 10.
Well, think about it. We got like
UFC's
the fighters like
30. There's 30 years of UFC fighters to come and go.
That's what I mean. I presume that pretty soon it's going to be like a bunch of Amanda Nunez's and stuff like that running around there. And
eventually, yeah.
But yeah, so shout out to the Saudi Arabia guy. He actually wanted to bring women out there, and then the ring girls is probably just Haram because I don't think they do like that weird.
Do you know what I mean? Like realistically, I think it was tougher for a girl to be doing MMA since she was 4 years old compared to like a guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like at this point in time, like now, if you have a daughter and you want to make her a fighter,
man, I don't even blame the girls, man. It's not even their
fault.
Like
if a girl wants to fight at 5 years old, she can do it nowadays. Yeah, it was tougher back in the day. Like obviously Valentina Shevchenko, boxing for her whole life, kickboxing. Not everybody has the opportunity, and it's definitely more easier to get your hands on that now. So WMMA is going to be cool.
I low-key feel like the Ultimate Fighter play with the two of them was low-key an L move because
it just doesn't bring in the buys or like.
I mean, I know that division's not doing much and like not moving, but not only that, but I think I wouldn't even say I was going to say they're holding up the division, but there's no one else really to even fight anyway. But I also feel
they're
like
fighting in September.
I feel like this has just been dragged out. Like I want to just see the trilogy and go on with it. Like low-key, like
wasn't somebody injured?
I don't know. They're just fighting after the Ultimate Fighter, I think.
I think realistically, ESPN has to rethink the Ultimate Fighter at this point. One, Has anybody in the world said, "Yo, the Ultimate Fighter with Valentina Shevchenko and what's her name?
Alexa Grasso.
The Ultimate Fighter with Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso's on ESPN Plus. Can we buy it, please, Mom and Dad?" Or, "Oh, I should buy ESPN Plus because the Ultimate Fighter with Grasso versus Shevchenko's on there."
Well,
has anybody said that? They need to change up
Ultimate
Fighter. Ultimate Fighter needs to get a whole revamp.
I think a revamp, and arguably not even be like. I think like they should.
Because if it was good, then
I like
more
this
people
idea.
would be
I like the revamp. I think that they should make it so the fighters are just coaches in their fights. Still have the fights on the Ultimate Fighter, but what I heard about it from fighters that have been on the show and just people who have hosted it themselves, they were like, "Yo, I only talked to the fighters like 5 times the whole season." The whole season, guys, the Ultimate Fighter, the coach, the coach that's supposed to be coaching you to get into the UFC, the fighter met with him like 5 times, and sometimes they didn't even show up to the fights. I agree with the revamp, because after I heard that, I was like, dude, this show's like fake almost. Like, they're not coaching, they're filming for like a month.
It's so high quality.
They're filming for like a month, but really the coaches' connection between the fight, there's nothing really there.
There's no creativity at all either. You look back
I would like a revamp where like maybe they just coach them for the fight that they have on the Ultimate Fighter, because I feel like that would be more connection based, and you don't have to like.
Or maybe a new series, each camp.
Yeah,
it's
that
like
too,
build
bro.
up. I mean, they have that. They have
too.
that like the week before of UFC cards, but
they
like
should just do that.
if they somehow it's like,
The
all right, we're
build up
diving
to one
into,
fighter's fight.
and that's the new Ultimate Fighter. They pick one card of the year.
There's just no way the
to
Ultimate
document
Fighter
the
can.
journey.
I feel like they're losing money on Ultimate Fighter. No way.
And they call it the journey. And if ESPN ever makes that, you
Just
owe
think
us
about
big
it.
time.
Think about Ultimate Fighter. They're letting over a dozen fighters get a house, and then they're getting in there. They're eating, drinking, sleeping, all for free, and then
They're fighting.
you're having to pay the fighters that are the coaches, right? I mean, I know Connor didn't do that for no little money. I know Connor took it back for that. So, and there's no way this is profitable, but they're probably just putting money into it just because it's been a
Dude, hear me out. I think nowadays the Ultimate Fighter is also way too focused on, the most deadliest people. You know what I mean? I want to see the Ultimate Fighter. Maybe, I mean, realistically, you have people like Bryce Mitchell. Obviously, I'm going to watch the past seasons. Chael Sonnen. You need some weirdos on the show, man. You can't just have everybody dedicated their whole life to fighting. You need some people with, that are people.
Yo, I'm with this take that
maybe
I like that what you kind of went with there.
Like,
with
you give somebody a chance
fighters.
that you like never
But
know.
I think maybe
You know what
instead of making it like UFC,
like obviously everybody here wants a chance, but it's just like you need some value to watch.
I think instead of
this.
making it 2 fighters that need to fight, because I feel like that makes it bad a lot. Because Grasso, Shevchenko, a good excuse to do the Ultimate Fighter, because usually what happens at the end of the season is the coaches fight each other. Why don't we stop doing that and make I would love to watch another season of Chael Sonnen being a coach of the Ultimate Fighter. He doesn't need
like
anyone to
nowadays,
fight.
like they use alumni people.
Or like think about
That could be cool. Khabib versus Connor coaching.
Yeah, they don't need
just or Dustin Connor, but coaching.
Yeah, they don't
Dude,
need to
I
fight
would
at the
watch
end.
that every episode.
And then maybe if it got there, then make the fight at the end if the beef got real. But I'm cool with just watching like made up shit. I'll watch another Connor
Dude,
season.
just Poirier. And,
Dude, the only
because we see more of the team of it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's Connor's team. Because Connor and Dustin are, if they're not scheduled to fight at the end, Connor wants his whole team to be Dustin's whole team.
Or complete revamp, Ultimate Fighter.
You got to make the coaches want it.
They do a documentary on a certain fighter's camp. That's what the Ultimate Fighter.
You know what I mean? Like, what is realistically making Valentina Shevchenko want all these people to win with like her whole heart?
Nothing.
If Connor has Dustin Poirier's team across the octagon, Connor's gonna want to put everything into that.
Because Connor.
Same with Dustin.
Because Connor's team on the last season really went 0-11.
Like, what is Valentina getting? Like $30K per episode?
No way.
Is that worth it, Valentina? I guess.
I bet you she gets like a fight paycheck.
Maybe.
$200K.
But either way, the Ultimate Fighter, we need a complete revamp out of y'all. And if y'all want our help, hit us up.
Hit us up.
We'll
guys.
direct that shit.
Yeah, we'll do our best to get it views, because
we're gonna just touch on one. Sergey Pavlovich kind of got exposed.
It is what it is.
He got beat up.
He got beat up by a dude with like a basketball record. Fucking
legit.
What's his name? Volkov's 40 and like
38 now.
38.
38.
No, so it's 38 and like 24.
7. I think he's like 38-7-1.
Oh shit.
Volkov still a beast. Okay, I guess so. But then
Volkov, guys.
The main event, was a thing of beauty.
The thing of beauty. I mean, I texted you immediately after the fight. I was like, "Wow, we're not coming out the same way."
Dude, I literally woke up from a nap.
Saw my text. Guys, Robert Whittaker, though, with a huge statement, guys, because what happened, if you look at his fucking resume, now, we call him the Raper Robert Whittaker. He does have some sick knockouts, guys, but let's be real, guys. He does not, he's a decision guy. We've seen it a lot with his wars with
Izzy.
You know, like Paulo Costa, both fights with Izzy, both fights with Romero, Marvin Vettori. The guy goes to decision. Nothing against that. Not to say he doesn't not have knockout power, because let's be honest, Izzy got a chin. Romero definitely got a chin. Vittori got a chin. So that's not his fault.
Realistically, Rob only lost to the best at this point.
That's what I mean. And I'm not blaming him for not getting knockouts. But, guys, it was so sick to see Rob get a knockout and to see how hype he would have been. It really sucks that the fight didn't happen. But what a sick fight for Rob. Exposed the unranked. Show that there's levels to this shit.
That is.
And say, hey, man, these top-ranked guys, you can't just feed them to the unranked. Dude, Rob got fed a fucking unranked guy, and I thought it was gonna be a good ass fight, like just a good fight. I had Rob winning, obviously, but man, that was sick.
He was ranked.
No, I think he was unranked, unless I was watching.
I think Ikram was ranked.
No way.
I swear to God, bro.
Nope.
I swear to God.
Check the rankings. They wouldn't have changed yet, right?
All right, I think there was some malfunction.
Dude, I don't think he was ranked.
The UFC website is like so inconsistent, man.
Did you see Wikipedia? I saw a post, some UFC outlet posted, guys. Wikipedia was on their shit. As soon as the fight was done, they had the method of finish. If it was knees to like, if it was, because the one fight was knees to ground opponent. It said knees to ground opponent, 2 minutes 33 seconds. Wikipedia was on that shit. Even though they use the most foul picture for fighters, bro, they're on top of the shit. Shout out Wikipedia. Also, fuck you, Wikipedia. You probably
Wikipedia is like the best source to like see what happened on a fight card.
And tell me, yeah, that's what I mean. And why is it
every fight?
Apparently,
a whole description of
allegedly, it's the worst thing to use in school. They tell you, dude, that's probably why they told us it was the worst.
Even though I'd be using it.
No, that's probably why they told us it was the worst, because it was really the best.
So yeah, think of some stuff. Don't just search.
Don't just look at the
because it is the best site. Dude, any professionals could just log on and speak.
Yeah, now people have AI, and it's fucking schools.
You don't know what to believe.
Who even knows?
But yeah, so that's kind of the future. Or no, that's what's happening now. But we're gonna look ahead a little bit. June, leading up to UFC 304.
June's looking a little crusty, musty.
It is looking a little crusty, musty. After UFC 303, guess what's after that?
Makhachev.
Nothing. We have a week off in the middle of the summer, man.
Guys, what's going on UFC?
Well, I guess it's July 4th weekend. They're taking a break, but still, dude, have something for people to throw on during the 4th of July weekend, man. And then the next weekend, Namajunas versus Macy Barber, main event.
Oh, Macy Barber.
Okay, this card's actually kind of good. Hold up, for like a sleeper. Look, Mike Mallet, Drew Dober.
Oh shit.
Santiago Ponzinibbio.
See, like that's
Gabriel Bonfim.
Just throw on type shit. Like, damn.
Cody Brunage. This girl's good. Okay, this card isn't actually bad. I'm kind of hating on it, but still, for a main event in the middle of the summer, man, when everybody's outside watching fights on their outdoor TVs, and then after that big matchup,
Raul Rojas Jr. versus
that is Raul Rojas Jr. man
versus
it's Amanda Lemos versus Verona Johnny
versus Raul Rojas.
But then the card has Brad Tavares on it, John Young Park.
Is that Ray?
That Cody Sanhagen?
That's Ray. That's Ray.
Actually, yo, did you see the clip of Speed? It's like someone's trying to pull a Ray on Speed and try to get rich.
Did they?
They tried.
Oh, wow.
After that, we have a great fight. We have Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad, obviously.
Leon. Rocky. Ed.
Guys, that was a crazy episode, honestly. But, we have a lot to talk about. I feel like at the beginning of the week, we have, like, so much to talk about. But, like, on Saturday nights, it's, like, hasn't happened yet.
Well, let's just hope something crazy
happens. Everything happened over the weekend.
Dude,
now we're talking
hopefully
about
we get, like, an O'Malley announcement. Hopefully we get some
true.
sort of announcement.
Connor announcement. And also, guys,
Chandler
sorry for the...
Max Holloway announcement.
Sorry for the when the audio cut the last episode. We had to delete audio and it overrid some of it. Yeah. But this is a fresh SD card.
Fresh SD card, fresh hours.
We'll see you guys in a fresh episode.
After this
next
SD
week.
card, we'll have
we'll be at like 90-something episodes.
Crazy, guys. So
sheesh, man.
We'll see you at the
See you in episode 75, though. That's a little milestone. Hey.
Yeah, episode 75. Guys,
3/4.
We might make it to 100 this year, right? Or no, not even close. Guys, we're gonna early 2025.
25 more weeks. That's if we do like one every.
So guys, we're
week,
looking like a New Year pod,
tough.
yo. Maybe a New Year pod. When is New Year's? New Year pod.
Oh, if that somehow lands on episode 100, that would be so epic.
Don't even check. Actually, check.
I'm gonna end the podcast though, guys. It was real. It was real talking to y'all. Comment your predictions for tomorrow night and enjoy the fights. Peace.
Yeah, guys.
Whoa, and I'm out.